Joe, we're back. Round 8. Boy, oh boy. I know you weren't happy with some of the results. I didn't do too bad. I think I avoided some of the carnage. Ashcroft on field. I can't believe it's round 8 and people don't even have any rookies on the midfield anymore. These people are flying. Feel like I'm still kind of a little bit behind everyone else, but doing a lot better than some. How are you doing, mate?
Oh, mate, I'm doing well. I don't know what you're talking about. You're saying I'm upset about some of the results. Mate, I'm hoping I hear some great results out of the tribunal. Freaking Rioli.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough.
Get fecked, Rioli. Slap him hard, tribunal. Minimum of 3, please. Minimum of 3. Ooh,
Yeah.
Global, good day to you, Global. Oh, I'm very happy to see Global every time. I love Global. I love him and his peanuts. And I know how that sounds. Global, I love your peanuts, mate. How was your day, Big J?
Good. Being busy doing uni homework and life and just normal work. I think I'm running on 4 hours sleep maybe. So, yeah, outside of that, doing all right.
Very nice, very nice. How did your team fare this week?
Oh, this week, well, I've got my team review coming out, most probably tomorrow. Was supposed to be today, but as you know, kind of busting my ass to get work done. I'm in the top 10K, so I'm very, very happy. Nice. Came out with a 2-4-6-3. So just looking at my team at the moment, had a few duds, had like your Ashcrofts, that kind of thing on field, but outside of that, we did all right. You know, no complaints. Sean Darcy's probably my worst, what you'd consider to be premium this week. I mean, Canelio scored 79 and he scored 77. So people are saying, hey, it's his obligatory, like, you know, sub 100 game that happens every few weeks. But it hurts when he does that. And Tim English, who's really his comparable like-for-like player, is popping out 140s, right?
Yeah, 100%. Definitely. I had Canelio. That was an issue for me. Obviously, Ridley was the big one, unfortunately. And Global, I'm glad you loved my Rioli rant. I don't rant too often, I don't think. But when I do, I make it worth it. And my views on Willie Rioli Jr., I think, are now out in the public for all to see. And yes, I'm not a fan of him. I wasn't a fan of him before the incident, and now he's well and truly cemented himself in my never even possibly liking books.
You're not even going to buy Gatorade from now on, Joe. You just
never even
Gatorade. Powerade from now on. Powerade and like crappy electrolyte drinks. Like no Gatorade ever. Not supporting Rioli. Yeah,
I'm not even going to South Australia anymore as long as he's in the state. I'm willing to go to WA, but South Australia, nah, get stuffed.
Marshall's injury. So from what I'm hearing, he's okay. He could have played out the rest of the game if he needed to. It was just like a bit of a rolled ankle type thing, and they were like, "Hey, there's 10 minutes to go. Don't worry about it. Let's just keep you on the bench with some ice." So if it was kind of second quarter and it happened, he probably would have kept playing. Is my understanding. So next week he's back. No worries there. Hey, Corey, how you doing, mate? Yeah, 100%. I mean, Clarko's come out and said, so that's what he said last week, right? And the week before, Paul Ball users, especially if you're established players, see you later. It's turning point, and there's no point us kind of finishing mid-table if we're just going to give games to these type of players and not put time into the kids. And we probably won't even finish mid-table. We might even finish, bottom of the ladder, and then there's 10 more, 20 more games into Turner when we could have developed Perez, Bailey Scott, Drury, Phoenix Spicer might get a game at some point soon as well. So these kind of players, you got to do it, right? They're the future. Turner's, end of the year should be gone. Hopefully with Hall and a couple of others too.
Man, Phoenix Spicer, a kid with that sort of name, you got to give him some game time. You got to give him some primetime TV, baby. Phoenix Spicer, come on, man.
I think he set up a couple of goals on the weekend in the VFL. So we actually won a game. It was only VFL, but we actually won. It was against Sandringham. I think they're Sandringham. So I think it's St Kilda's VFL team. But yeah, did all right. No complaints.
Not me, Theo. It's him. I get my arrows wrong by looking at the That one. It's him. It's him. It's his fault, not me, mate. I read your comments. Believe
Sorry,
me.
I see a North Melbourne comment in the chat. I'm just like, forget
He's
everyone
biased.
else.
He's biased. No. I got you, Theo. Trades: Goulden in and Atkins in, out. Green and Roberts. I did a downgrade. Allen to Simpson last week. Keep it up. The good work. Cheers, Theo. Oh yeah.
I don't mind it. Theo, did you trade out Goulden or did you just not have him at all? Because it's kind of hard, you know. You didn't have him at all. Because I've traded players out and traded players back in. So yeah, I don't mind the trade. Goulden's a weird one. Came out with what, a 150 and
with no CBAs.
He did not get any CBAs. And if you look at his heat map, maybe Joe will pull that up. But if you look at his heat map, it's like defensive wing on one of the sides. It's bonkers. But, you know, for Supercoach, a point's a point. Doesn't matter where you are as long as you're scoring. So, yeah, pretty good there. Hey, Dan. Yeah, Anderson was phenomenal. And the hard part is, for a lot of people, he's now priced himself out. So you've really got to make ways. You've almost got to wait 2 or 3 weeks. Hopefully there's a downgrade option and you can like go 1 up, 1 down later on, because 600K is hard to come by. A lot of my trades and things like that, I'm getting, 550 at a max. But yeah, there's Goulden from this week. Bonkers.
What the hell is that? What is that?
Bonkers.
Oh my god, that is ridiculous. But yeah, that's a crap ton of possessions over there. All just happened to be bunched up here, always where he needed to be. And it's a really weird stat line when you look at what he had. Literally 0% CBAs. Yeah. 65% disposal efficiency. So it wasn't even that great in terms of disposal efficiency. But my word, he loves to kick. He 32 kicks to 5 handballs. That is
You see that kind of ratio with you see that kind of ratio with like players that do kickouts and a lot of the defensive runners, but never from a guy like him. So it's bloody phenomenal. I think his AFL fantasy stat was like 180 or 190. So, you know, potentially he could have come in and actually scored a lot better as well if he had a bit more disposal efficiency there.
Yeah. But I mean, 13 marks. Like, who the hell gets 13 marks as well? Like, for a guy in that this has been sensational. This is a game that we probably might not see again from Goulden this week. I definitely wouldn't be expecting a guy on a wing to be dishing out, 156. He has played in the wing before, earlier in the year where he scored at 85, a 107, a 115. Like you don't expect a 156 from a winger. So you take that. We're glad about it. And we basically we rise up. We rise up.
Yeah, the thing with the wing as well is that guys like Callahan always suffer because the ball's on the other side. So, he must have been very lucky that the ball was around that area.
Yeah, exactly. Big J, young Drew, he looks like a likely type for you or Rude Boys, according to Julie.
Yeah. He had a really good first half, and then the second half he just didn't get any possessions. I think he touched the ball maybe 2 or 3 times, and that was it in the second half. So I'm really not sure what happened. I don't know if he got rested or whatever, but 102K rookie DPP. If he plays next week and then he's named for round 3, I think you have to take the punt. We're desperate for a small forward as well. So yeah, it could work out quite well.
But this is probably one of the worst heat maps I've ever seen for a centre half back, to be completely honest with you. But that's
for someone probably that's supposed to be a small forward. Yeah, why not? Maybe we're trying to play him out to be a bit like Chandler.
He only had 13 touches.
Yeah, because Chandler regularly has a heat map, something similar. So maybe we tried to play him a little bit like Chandler, like that kind of roaming small player that has good kicks. Oh, mate. It was shocking. I think it was 6-13 or something in the first half. Boy, oh boy. No wonder. If you watch the ticket sales, they were talking about how half the top of the stadium was closed, how there was GA on the bottom floor. Mate, no one's turning up for North games because, it's like punishment. No one's going to go there and expect, we're going to do well. So I'd rather personally not sit through 3 hours of torture, even though I love
who bags for North. Come on,
yeah. I love the
You guys
players. I
got no
love the
fans,
club.
man. You
I'll
had
watch
4
it on
behind,
TV,
7
but
behind.
live is crazy.
What?
Yeah,
What is that, man?
exactly. Look at that. Half
Yikes.
time
That's
was
disgusting.
27-7. Like, come on, man. That's not AFL. This is not AFLW, Joe.
It should have been so much more. 3 goals, 9. 1 goal, 6 first quarter. That this was a really
0
poor
goals,
skill
7.
level game.
0-7. I think Caminiti coming back next week's really going to help the Saints. They just really miss his defensive ability and also his marking capacity in that forward line. They just kick it straight and he's there. So when he comes back, it'll be good for them.
Ooh, Lee Solomon.
Nice work, Lee.
61.
Congratulations.
He's getting in Noah Anderson. Nice little plug,
Lee,
Noah Anderson.
if you win the 50K,
I don't know. Will he still be a pod into next week?
That's it. You have to come on the show. It's interesting because Facebook, if you look at like the Facebook teams, they just jump on whoever's available. If I had money, Noah Anderson would be the player for me. And I think it's even made better because of his buy round. So being able to keep have him through his buy, and then, if you look at a team like yours, for example, you've got Tom Stewart round 13, and then you've got Noah Anderson, like 2 plays out of 28 is pretty good, or 2 plays out of 30. But I can't afford this bastard. I can't afford him. I'm not like Dan, who got him early before his price rise. You know what I mean? His break even's 9. He's going to go up another 51K this week. He's been traded in by around 5,000. Only 5.2% of teams so far have been managed to trade him in. 2%. The problem is because he's now jumped like around 50K this week. Like all of a sudden, he just went from a bit of a speculative pick to all of a sudden, nah, I'm too expensive for you now, bish. Yeah.
Sucker. It's pretty hard.
That's what happens. That's what really happens. Sometimes like a player will come out and you think, oh yeah, maybe I'll wait. He has a monster game, not even a small game. Like I think he would have been obtainable by a lot of people if he came out and did a 130. But a 189, like, come on, man. No one can afford that outside of someone who, I was looking to get Tom Stewart in this week or Oliver Allaire. Yeah. now I get him in instead. So yeah, it's rough.
I mean, it's absolutely stupid, man.
Corey, what do you mean, Jack? Do you not have Jack Zeeble, Corey? North Melbourne fans do not have the former captain in their team. The guy was 400K for like 5 weeks, buddy. Come on. I had Anderson and Gawn all week. Yeah, it's tough, man. Anderson and Gawn, I think obviously hindsight says they were the best 2 picks, but it is what it is.
37 touches,
especially with
at
Gawn,
81% with 6 tackles.
I'm going to get DPP. It's tough. Anderson was very good. It feels like he's the one that has been doing well since Tuke Miller's been gone. So a lot of that mid-time. It's got to be absorbed by somebody, and then it's obviously by him. So all congrats to those people that have that player.
When does he come back? When does Tuke Miller come back?
Tuke Miller is supposed to be closer around to his buy round. So I think there's 2 or 3 more weeks of no Tuke, and then closer to his buy is when he comes in.
He's gone bang, 144, 189. Jeez, yeah. If you don't get him now, hi, I'm Mr. Setter Spud. You may remove from such Spud scores.
Setter Spud.
Jonas, he's gone from my team, and you watch. Now that I've traded him out, he's gonna be like, you bastard. You should have trusted in me 1 more week because we don't have. Because now that we've lost another key defender, now that we've lost Ridley. We're going to have to play, I think, Langford in the back line, which means that Stringer has to stay in the forward line, which means that Setter Goat is going to get all the CBAs again this week. You watch. Yep. It's all going to happen now in the 1 week I trade him out. So, look, Setter Spud, I'll give it to you. He has spudded it up. I don't know what's going on all of a sudden, but it's not good. He started off so promising as well. I don't know what happened.
I told you, Joe, get rid of him 3 weeks ago when he was 460K. He dropped like a 90. He was like, yep, he's capped out. That's it. You held on and you got punished. I don't know what else to tell you. Hey, Jennifer, how you doing? Thanks for coming and watching, mate. Yeah, really good score. You probably were about par. Did you end up going up or down this week, Jennifer? Let us know. I think it kind of depends a little bit on where you were in the rankings, but I know a lot of people that didn't even get 2,300 this week. So some people had Ridley, some people had Neil and Cripps, and of 3 or 4 premiums that get sub 50 projected scores.
Yeah,
really sucks.
100%. Anderson or Merritt? Brayshaw, Mills, or Steele? You've just chucked us now 5 names. Go for it. Just discuss.
All right,
here's 5 names: Barack Obama, Anderson, Joe Biden, Willie Rioli Jr. Jesus Christ. Discuss. Like, come on, bro.
I think you pick Anderson first. The buy around his form. It's just hard to get rid of him. I think the problem as well is that he must have a very low break even. So this is the week to get him in if you have to get him. Otherwise, you're going to be waiting a long time. I don't see him really dropping in money anytime soon. So, look, Joe, Zach Merritt's one of those players that end up getting shorter as he gets older. So, look, 2015 he was tall, and then zhoop, what happened 2020? Like they didn't have enough film to be able to take photos of him. Look at 2019. What a photo.
2019. I don't know what. Yeah. I don't know what's happening here on the website.
And then 2023 finally was happy. Did he even smile in any other photos?
Yeah, it's because he's captain here.
Not really.
It's because he's captain here, and he's got Brad Scott. He has a good coach for once, and now he's happy. Oh, we have a real coach.
Working so well for you, Joe. Like you've won the last 4 games, right? Brad Scott's the best coach ever.
We haven't won the last 4 games. It's the method. It's about the method, and the method has been great. It has. You can't deny. You can't deny.
And Anderson first, on form, probably Merritt next, and then I would go Mills, Steele, and Brayshaw. I think I'm looking at Steele just for the buy round, but you got to get Anderson first if you can afford him. This is the last week you'd be able to get him for a long time.
What's happened here? Why didn't we scored 91 last week? Because they had the O'Connor tag. 91 with the O'Connor tag. That's pretty good.
Maybe. Eddie, how you doing, mate? Thanks for coming on. Danger and Ridley out. Yeah, that sucks. For Anderson and Oliver. Mate, it's pretty good. No, I think just depending on who you have, those 2 are fantastic picks for you. It really just depends on how you're going upgrades-wise. Obviously, Danger and Ridley, I think, are going to be out for a while. So Anderson and Oliver are fantastic. In the rankings, they're like 2nd and 3rd overall midfield points as well. So it's pretty good. Pretty good, no complaints. Anderson will go up. Yep. And then the bye week, as I said. So, yeah, it sucks every week not owning Oliver. Mate, I don't have much hair left, and that's why I got Oliver in, because if you don't have him, that stuff starts falling out, I tell you what.
Yeah, you want a mid. Oh, yes, cheese. Nah. Samson Ryan.
Yeah. I wish I had Ryan. I wish. It sucks not being able to afford him. What can you do? It's a pain watching this kid perform every week, and it's so young, and he's just like, yep.
Look at him.
Not happy, Jan.
Samson Ryan, the beautiful, honest, pure-hearted, sensational player.
I'll just let Joe kind of wallow in his good super coach picks. Jury looks all right. The only problem is I hate going early on rookies unless it's like a Chincotta, just because of being able to be dropped. Like I went early on Wagner thinking, hey, he's playing halfback, he's doing all right. The guy got like 20 possessions and still got dropped. So maybe the coach says, Drury, you were slow in the second half of the game. You can be the sub this week, or maybe we'll look to Medi sub you instead. You got to grab players on the bubble unless they're like absolute certainties. Maybe the mid-season draft, you can do it because it will have a lot of mature ages coming in. But yeah. Joe, how about you pull up those mid-season drafts stats that we were talking about on the phone the other day? Do I think Philip eventually about how many teams have spots? I think Phillips will come back, but it might take a little while. So what are we just looking at? Yep, go for it, Joe.
So 6 clubs currently have list spots available. So Geelong, Essendon, Hawthorn, Richmond, Freo, and Western Bulldogs all have one vacancy. So essentially what that means is mid-season draft, we're only getting 6 players. And
at the moment. at the moment.
And Essendon are looking at Oscar McDonald, because of our depleted key defense stock. So he will not be basement price rookie. So that means that we're not even going to have 6 basement price rookies coming into this year, the mid-season draft. So I know a lot of us are hoping that the mid-season draft can give us some nice, juicy bargain price picks in order to have them play and also make us money. But it's going to be slim pickings, I think, this year.
Well, West Coast definitely has a couple of players. I know Jai Cully's just done his ACL again, so I think they've probably got 2 or 3 they can LTI. Maybe North Melbourne's got one with Charlie Comben as well. So, wait and see what happens.
And
there's
it will
still
be on
2,
Wednesday.
3 or 4 weeks to go before they have to decide. So if you're a mature age player and you're eligible, bust your guts for the next 3 weeks.
Put your hand up. We need some basement price rookies. Come on.
Clubs are going to be calling, man. Clubs are going to be calling. Teams that are competing are desperate, absolutely desperate for good mature age talent. People will play. And the benefit of the mid-season draft is, as we've said, there's less teams picking. It's not focused on 18-year-olds. It's normally focused on that mature age ranking. And you can pick up the most informed key forward in the VFL or the waffle and inject him straight into your team. So, like Essendon, as you're saying, need a defender. Yep. Best key defender in the state league, come to my team. Richmond desperately needs something. Yep, let's do it. Fremantle need a key forward or 2. Best 2 waffle players, it's straight in the team. Same with West Coast, same with us, a couple others. So mid-season draft's bloody fantastic. Or you can have Hawthorn trying to rig it again, and then they pick up more mature age, good talent, and then I think we can always bet on a good Hawthorn mature age player coming through every year. Who did we have? We had Jai Newcomb one year. We had Weddle. Was it Weddle? Who did we have last year, Joe? Bramble. Remember Bramble we had the year before, and Bramble. A few of these other type of players. So works out all right. Where are we up to?
Do you think Phillips will come back?
I answered this one already.
Oh, you did? Who takes a Cats midfield now that Danger is out?
Maybe Tanner Bruin finally gets a run. How would that be?
Nah, he can't get over 52% freaking tog. The guy is freaking stuck to the bench. It's hard to run with a plank of wood sticking out of your ass. Freaking hate Tanner Bruin. Nah, it's not Tanner Bruin's fault. It's all Chris Scott's fault. All right, so looking here, Danger dropped. Tanner Bruin, 55% CBAs. Maybe Max Holmes. Max Holmes looks. Oh wait, no, Max Holmes. Was it Max Holmes or was it Brad Close that got the suspension for the dangerous tackle? Don't remember. One of them got done for a dangerous tackle against Dawson. So I'm not sure. Could have been Mitch Nevitt, perhaps.
So they'll pull someone out of somewhere. VFL team will come in. Maybe Menengola or someone else will come in. Parfitt will play some more mid-time. They'll figure it out. Not a big
Parfitt. Yeah, he's one. Jonas Noah Anderson. Last 5 games, splits the Ds, midfields, always improving. VC versus West Coast this week. Best buy and will be gone by next week. Correct. Why would you risk Steele, Brayshaw, Mills? Well, the thing is, you would only risk him if you can't afford Anderson, right?
Yeah.
Jonas?
That's the only thing. That's the tough thing. You can't afford the players. You got to go cheap. There's some players, Mills, Steele, Brayshaw. These guys are, sub 550K. If you can't afford the big boys, you got to fill your team somehow.
I mean, how am I going to afford him? I can't afford him. I can only afford Gorn and someone in like the Mills, Steele, Brayshaw sort of price bracket. I can't keep fielding Samson Ryan at R2. As much as I love the kid, it's just not going to work.
No, you have to put Ryan on field, mate. Can you afford Ryan on field? Can you put? Surely you put Ryan on field.
Well, Simpson's got Richmond, bro.
Yeah, but so does Ryan. Ryan's got Geelong.
Ryan is going to be eaten alive by Geelong. He's not going to work. It's not going to work. He's going to score sub 70 this week. I'm not going to do that. Oh, yeah. love some Dua Lipa.
I
Pretty
don't know
blessed
if
to be
that's-
able to go
That's
Clary and
the
Anderson.
correct
this week.
profile picture there. I don't. Yeah,
Unless it's like Dua Lipa's alias, but we'll see. Where's the King John
Where's Tom
Cena
Green?
photo?
No, where's Tom Green, bro? We need Tom Green to be.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he was simping over her the other at the start of the
man.
season. Yeah, well done. Congratulations. Well done. Very looking hot on and off the field. Julie, thanks for the info on Marshall. Any news on when Lockie Weller comes back? Last week they said 1 week sore knee for Weller.
Not sure. You can try and pull up the injury list, but I don't think they'll be updated yet.
Not there. Let's try the list from 3 days ago.
If you were opposite to Joe and I, and you still have some boosts, these are the first couple of weeks where it's actually going to be really important for you. Being able to downgrade on one, double upgrade. It's just a shame that we don't really have a lot of downgrade options. As someone was just asking in chat about what downgrade options. Jennifer was asking, what downgrades do we have this week? There's really not many. I think Weddle's one, and then who's the other one, Joe?
You got Weddle, of course, and then you got Rory Atkins.
Nah, it's a trap.
Yes. Rory Atkins is a downgrade option, and I will show you why. Rory Atkins, defensive mid. He's 200K. Yes, I know he's not bottom. He's not bottom bargain price rookie. I get it, but he plays for Gold Coast. So he's got that nice buy. Look at the kick-ins. Look at the kick-ins, mate. He had 5 on the weekend, and he played on with all of them. That bloody Connor McKenna can learn a thing or two. He got all 5 played in. Last week, he had 2. So he's actually bumped up his kick-in duties this week, which is really impressive. He's playing off halfback. Obviously, his selection rests a lot on whether Lockie Weller comes back soon or not. If Weller comes in, Rory Atkins will probably lose those kick-ins. And really the only reason why you would select them is because of his kick-in duties this week. 100% play on, as I said. You know, he had 6 marks, 11 marks, 22 disposals, and 25 disposals. So in terms of and he only had 64% disposal efficiency on the weekend. So he left a lot of points out there on the field. So in terms of rookie, I suppose, in terms of downgrades, I think these are your real only 2 options. And Rory Atkins, look, man, a lot of people were saying don't pick Buckley. And look what happened to Buckley.
I said pick Buckley. So I don't know who you're talking to saying don't pick Buckley. The only problem is, I don't know, man. That job role is just...
Look at his face. He's so happy.
Yeah, he's happy because he's getting paid $450K to play VFL 3 times a year.
He's so happy that he is the one playing at halfback over Constable. He's the one keeping Constable out of a job.
Nah, I don't think so. I think Stewie Judas hates Constable. We've got a comment down here about him, but let's just go through the list still. Corey, so chose Setterfield over Zeeble round 3. Mate, it sucks when that happens. I think I got Zeeble in maybe round 5 or 6 at that kind of 430K mark. And it's still, he's gone up 140K, so he's doing all right for me. But yeah, sometimes kind of picking between the two make a huge difference. And then injuries really suck too. Hopefully you got off Setterfield when you needed to. He's, Mills versus Brayshaw this week. Oh, man.
That's the $1 million question because you look at Mills. 63% CBAs, 69% CBA. Look at this. This is Callum Mother Fishing Mills. This is Callum Mills we're talking about. This guy can go over 200 points. He is one of the best players in the league. And that stupid horse is playing him all over the ground. I wasn't supposed to do that. Why does he do that to him? I don't know. If he has the role, Mills is a top 8 midfielder.
Well, and that's kind of... Right, look how skinny he was in his first year. Go up the top.
Oh, my God.
First year, second year, and then 2018 is when he started to come into his
Chicken Little here. He was Chicken Little without glasses, and now
Look at him.
freaking handsome Mr. Universe shit. Oh my god,
Uh-huh.
Chicken
And that's
Little.
kind of the thing too, isn't it? Like every year we dream of picking up your Will Powells, well, no, not Powells, Andersons, your Steele, Brayshaw, even Callum Mills at this price. Get him now after he's bottomed out, and then ride the wave until he ends up being 700k. No one else can afford him. So you take the gamble. Do you say, okay, is Mills going to come back? You've really got to weigh up.
Yeah.
It's not like he's been injured, which is a good thing. Brayshaw's coming off the injury still. But yeah, it's a tough one. Like, you've got to go with your gut. Maybe it comes into buy rounds, which one you like more. Maybe it comes into Freo being a worse team than Sydney. It's a tough one.
And also, how much of it is bias, or you deliberately trying to go against the bias so hard that you end up anti-biasing yourself, Dan? Because I know you're a Freo man, and it's very easy to want to support your boy, but because you know he's your boy, you will deliberately you'll put more obstacles in your own way to prevent yourself from selecting him. So you're in a really interesting situation here, Dan. And that's Freo strategy, guys. If you don't know, look, you got to back your gut. Personally, I think I'd lean more with Mills, because he hasn't really dished up any shit scores, straight up, apart from anything that's role related, and he has the upside. Whereas I think when I'm looking at a guy like Brayshaw, I just feel like he beat up on a really weak team in Hawthorn, and he hasn't really been anywhere near it previously. And if we go to him, Andy Brayshaw, he's very much on the outside this year. So 70, look at that, 67% CBA, 61% CBAs. Like, even he has a flux 71. He has a fluctuation in CBAs. So I feel like it's safer. As crazy as it is, I feel like it's safer to go. Personally, I'm leaning towards Mills over Brayshaw. Jennifer went down 130. That's all right, Jen. It's a long season. You will bounce back, 100%. So I worded it wrong. I'm getting two. Can get one of Anderson and Merritt, then one of Mills, Brayshaw, and Steele. So
grab Anderson, and then what buy rounds does Mills have, Joe? Which buy round does Sydney have?
Mills has the round
12.
Wait, which round is this?
The first one.
Round 12.
Yeah. I would pick Mills, to be honest. I think Mills is the way to go.
And you look who he's got this week. I'm sorry, Dan. I promise I'm not trying to belittle your team.
Yeah.
But
in Sydney,
he's got
at home in Sydney. So
and you guys are ranked 18th, dead last against Causa. Crazy to think Bont 3-round average 156 and now 725k. He could now be the lead of last year where people couldn't get him in. Look, if you don't have Bontempelli this year, then I don't know. I don't know what sort of plant you're smoking. I don't want to be anywhere near it personally.
Surely everyone who was serious about Supercoach this year started Bond.
Yeah. Like, I mean, 47% of teams. I mean, that is essentially 100% of teams, because I think the other 53% have given up on the game. So,
Facebook teams or people that just make a team and then not play, or autofills, whatever.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Hippo's in the chat.
What's up, Hippo? How you doing, mate? I saw your video. If anyone hasn't seen it already, go see Hippo's video during the week on the weekend, mate. He was so close to deleting his team. It was this close. He had the button hovered over. Was like, do I delete my team? And can't delete your team, Hippo. You're here for the whole year.
I had Ridley, bro. I had Ridley on field. It's okay. You got me on Twitter. You can always hit me up, bro. Anytime you want to talk.
Mate, Joe goes for Essendon. Like that's bad
I know.
enough.
I know. Nah, he goes for Carlton, so I don't know how much better that is.
Carlton's not much better at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't think it's much. Any worries about Anderson scoring when Touk is back?
I don't know.
Look,
it's going to be the thing that really defines it, isn't it? Does Touk come back and actually does what he does? Because even Matt Rowell's really jumped up in the last couple of weeks as well, without Touk being in the team. So yeah, it's a tough one. This is kind of the things we have to decide, and we have to kind of think about as we start doing Supercoach.
Look at
I don't think he's back for a while.
Touk got injured during round 6. Okay.
Yeah.
And did he miss games at the start of the year or not?
Nah, he came into round 1. It just wasn't like
what a start! What a start to the year for Touk Miller. I mean, he was. I can completely understand why people traded this guy in. You know what I mean?
Course.
Like, especially that week as well.
It was cheap, and around round 5 is when we kind of have our first little bit of upgrades from mid prices. Like, people jumped on.
That's very sad.
Tom Berry. Yeah, it's an interesting one. As I said, kind of working out what's happening. I think last week was his first week, so this week's his next week. I don't mind the player. Scored okay. It's just we don't pick players up when they're not on their bye. Is kind of not their bye when they're not on the bubble is the big thing. So
correct.
Yeah, you never want to touch them. 57's not bad though. We'll take
Against
that
Melbourne.
any day of the week. Yeah. Well, I mean, Gold Coast was competitive, which is the big thing.
They were. You only dropped by 5 points.
Well, Gold Coast haven't been competitive. So, yeah, he did all right.
Half forward flank.
Yep.
10 touches. 70% efficiency. 3 marks, 3 tackles. No goals, no CBAs.
Not bad. One to watch for next week, because I think a lot of people next week are going to be going into another downgrade.
He rammed up the ground. He rammed up the ground, which is good to see. So, you can almost like the people pick Davey, and it's almost a bit like what Davey's doing, roaming up the ground a bit, getting some hands on the ball. No, I'm not against
like
it.
10 touches and 40 Supercoach points.
Yeah, but I think Drury, and I'm out of boosts, so I can't do it. I can only get one of them next week, and that will be Drury. Joy the way Anderson blitz Melbourne. Yeah.
I might even look to double downgrade next week, just depending on who's available. Maybe go Baker down and then someone else. It really just depends on who you've got on field. But Sam Simpson, if he keeps this up, is going to eclipse what Baker's scoring and price is going to be in the next couple of weeks. So, depends on who's available. Some people have only got one rookie left in that midfield. So double downgrade, rookie up if you've got a boost, or wait till next week. Could really be on the cards for a lot of people.
Charlie Constable might have been put out to pasture, Jonas. Honestly, like it's ridiculous. I don't know who he has slept with, who he has abducted, how much money he's stolen, but he has clearly done something, a cardinal sin, that will get him no longer ever in this team. Because you look at these VFL scores: 30 disposals, 6 marks, 3 tackles, 36 touches.
It's good. Like, he's got good scoring. He just
29, 8 and 3, 32, 11, 31, 5 and 5. Like, what more can this stallion do to get in the side? Clearly, he's done something egregious.
Yeah, and the tough part, remember last year, people that started Greg Clark, they brought him in kind of as he got announced, almost got punished because he played 2 games and then didn't play a 3rd game for a few weeks. People like myself, I don't know if you've still got him, Joe, but people who have held him for this long are almost being punished because, you'll be a good downgrade option in a couple of weeks when he finally gets announced. So it's like, we've had a dead rookie on the field for 3 weeks. People have been upgrading. They've got Ryan in or someone else. And a few weeks down the track, you can get Constable in and we're stuck with him. So, unlucky.
Tyrone says Jaya Clark will play.
Maybe in the Geelong midfield. You think he's
And Julie says Callum Brown ex-Pies is doing well for Box Hill. Not sure if Hawks select them, but maybe another club if we don't. Are you guys missing key defenders? I'd love to pick him up at Essendon.
He's not a key, Callum Brown's not a key defender, man. He's like a midfielder.
Isn't he?
No, Callum Brown. We had this
I'm
conversation in the car, Joe. Callum Brown is the ex North Melbourne dad.
I'm thinking of Callum. I'm thinking of the GWS Callum Brown for some reason.
Yes, you are.
I instantly thought of the GWS Callum Brown. I've played Supercoach more than I've watched football. Apparently, it's taken over my brain.
The only I was talking to Joe about this off air. The only problem with Callum Brown is because he got delisted like last year or the year before. He's still going to be at an elevated price. I don't believe he'll actually come in at a 1.0 2K rookie versus a kid that's never played or a player who's had like 5 or 6 years out of the system. So I don't know how many people are going to be downgrading to him if he's like 250K, right? It's going to be tough.
Yeah. Brad Close. Is it with a Max Holmes turned out to be probably the best pick of the midfield prices?
Hey.
Yeah, well, I'm not surprised.
Hopper's done all right.
Hopper's done all right, but he's a bit
The benefit
flaky.
for Hopper is he missed that week with like his knee injury or whatever, and I was actually able to bring him in.
Look at
A
Holmes.
week later. Yeah,
Bro, he can build. He's safe as houses.
Yeah.
I mean, look at him. He's gone 76, 102, 67, 115, 96, 98, 103, 102. What a run! And he's been getting CBAs. Not immense, but he doesn't need to because he's playing for a freaking Geelong juggernaut where he can supplement his scoring with a goal a game, basically. A lot of disposals, 26, 20, 23, 18, 22. And he's even starting off the interchange as well. And this heat map isn't the best.
Pretty good, Joe.
Yeah, Max Holmes.
We got a Mitch Nevitt question, Joe. Jennifer.
Oh, this is for you. This is for you. This is for you, mate. Go.
I don't mind the pick. We pull up his scoring. I always try and do this on Footy Info, Footy Wire. Pull up his scoring. Joe, pull up his DFS. Have a look.
It's here.
It's not a bad pick, but yeah.
He's freaking German.
Come on.
He's not putting German to you.
Sam Simpson's really the only one that's got some like job stability, but Geelong's always got good VFL players coming through that system. Yes, they need to play the kids, and they will. But Geelong's always got good VFL players coming through the system. And one bad game, something happens, an established player comes back from injury. We don't want dead rookies on our bench at the moment. It's like Josh Weddle. Like I want Weddle in my team that allows me to get premium. But I just don't know what's happening with Hawthorn. One, Grimshaw comes back. Half a dozen players come back in that back line and we always miss out. So, yeah.
Yeah. Jack Bytel, man. Jack Bytel.
I don't know. This guy getting talked about in the preseason and he's fallen off. So,
someone needs to tell him that he needs to score points in order to make money.
Gone to English and Green to Weddle.
Like someone needs to tell him he needs to score points.
It works, but mate, I don't know if you go Gorn to English. Gorn's on fire and he's going to get DPP. I think so you're not Gorn. Okay, cool. Grundy. All right, go Grundy to English. Mate, Gorn's getting DPP.
Sub.
Yeah.
Yikes.
We have to be careful, guys. So round 12 is obviously when the new set of DPPs are coming in. There's been some talk about some real midfielders that are going to get it. There's been some talk even like Gorn and Grundy are going to get it as well, just with them sharing. So save some space. I know a lot of us have started Eddie in that forward line, but it might be a case of, okay, we have like a Darcy Cameron on the bench. It might have like a Max Gorn F1, and then another guy's a swingman. I think we're almost blessed at the moment, depending on how cheap Gorn gets in the next couple of weeks. And people like Joel are very lucky because he can just put Gorn straight in the ruck line and not have to worry. But this might be the year where we're forced to take a swingman, forced to put a premium on the bench just so we can get these players. People that didn't have Bont last year and got him in the forward line just shot up the rankings. I know I did that too. Joe did that too. I really feel like if you can't get Max Gorn come round 12 in your forward line, you might be in some real trouble. I just have to be careful.
Oh, whoops, not that one. Forget about it. Yeah, so there are some as you mentioned, there are some mid premiums who are really close to getting some DPP. You know,
Mm.
McRae, as of round 7, you can see he had 27% forward. Callum Mills, only 13%, but 25% in defense. Jaden Short is going to get some defensive DPP most likely. Ashcroft could get some forward DPP. It's not a premium though. Sam Walsh, 37% forward as of round 7. So that is huge if that was to stay the case. Petrarca, 32% forward. You know what I mean? Like there are some real, genuine, interesting selections. And as I've got here, the rule is that they have to play at least 35% in that starting position. And it takes place after round 11 and before round 12. And that happens to be exactly when the mid-season draft is going to take place. So, so 35% is what you need. Petrarca's really close to it. It was on 32%. Sam Walsh was actually over it. So you got to keep a close eye. Imagine a forward-eligible Sam Walsh. That would be absolutely bananas. Jonas, Mark Pitiful. I like to call him Mark Shitternet, but Mark Pitiful is pretty good. Tap the ball lines time after time after time. His Supercoach average is higher than his IQ. Will destroy English, but not around the ground. And English doesn't have the lowest of break-evens either. I'm pretty sure English's break-even is still relatively high. So there's no real need to force him in. Yeah, a 156. So there's still time. You can wait on this stud of a man who can't speak to drop a bit more in price. Chase Bailey Humphrey as a cheeky downgrade option. Bailey Humphrey is not one who has even crossed my radar, to be completely honest. I don't really like picking rookies that have had a price rise unless they're Samson Ryan, who I'm sure will have a great role for their team, especially with the news that Nankervis went down. I was happy to pay for 150k for Samson Ryan. And look at that. He's already doubled in price. Bellissimo. But Bailey Humphrey, I don't know, like 64. He scored a -3. You know what I mean? Like that's fairly impressive against Richmond. And then a 43, a 38, 39. So nothing really to sing home about when you look at the first 5 games of the season. So when you say cheeky downgrade, I think you got to highlight the cheeky. It's a Scott father! Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! Just calm her down. Just calm her down, Scott father. I can't calm her down. He's in the chat. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm new to this. I need help. Is Setterfield the primo? Bro, Setterfield. Set a goat.
Oh, set a toilet. Crikey, mate. Set a dinner. I'll figure something out for him, but nah, he's cool. He's
the greatest of all premiums.
See you later. I know you're just joshing, but see you later.
Nah, he has to go. I have to get rid of him. I've held him for this long. It's time for him to say goodbye.
Abs, we have to get you on the channel. I know you're telling me you got issues. We're going to fix your issues. You're going to come on. That's it. I don't care. No worries. 100%. We'll make it happen.
We need it. We need it to happen. Julian and S, who to bring in? Steele, Brayshaw, Mills, or Goulden?
You don't even have Goulden, Julian. Mate. Oy, oy, oy.
Look, he's never going to score 156 again. Let's be real.
No, he's not. So forget about him.
So you got to...
It's probably a toss-up between Mills and Steele. I pick Mills or Steele.
I mean, look at his... I mean, he's prone to give you the occasional 47s. That's an 85.
I would pick Steele. I've changed my mind. I would pick Steele. I think...
Over Goulden?
No. Sorry. Forget Goulden. But if you had to pick Mills or Steele, I think Steele. If he gets his body right, he's good for like a 110, 115. I think Mills is going to be chop and change for a while. So that's my prediction. Dan
Neville must have... Yep. Very, very... See, he's a smart man. Smart man, Dan. Listen to Freo Tragic.
Funnily enough, I've never owned him. So
Duke.
Yeah. How you doing, Duke?
It's the stream is complete. We've had Duke come on. It's all is fine in the world. He's going to the game this week in Sydney. Oh, might end up breaking for me. Well, I'm sure the people over there will be happy about it. Could never delete it. Just Sicily and Neil make me want a neck. Look, man, when you got flogs, scumbag, low dog acting people like Rioli, it makes you question why you even watch the game and why you even pick these fragile defenders like Ridley, bro. It pissed me off. It really pissed me off. I hope he gets 3 minimum. In 3 minimum for that. Can you look at my team, the Duke? I have 17 trades. Like, what do you think of Chandler and Ashcroft to Drury and Oliver? Yo. Or Weddle and Anderson. Or should I just downgrade Cowan or just hold? Thanks. I think Chandler's still got a lot of money left in him to make.
Chandler's good. I wouldn't be trading him. I think he's got a break even of like 20 or 42.
No, 42.
He'll get 42. He's likely to get another 100 at some point and then bounce back up the ladder again. So
look who's playing this week. Look who's playing this week. He could have a big game Joe. Right here. I wouldn't do it. He's up against Hawthorn, who are ranked 17th against forwards. So I wouldn't.
Joe's missing now.
Oh no, Big J's on top of me. Oh no. Okay, probably. So yes, 17 is not too bad. Now I'm on top. So I would hold on to Chandler. I
would be trading in Drury.
I'm not against trading Ashcroft. Yeah. I'm not against trading out Ashcroft, but the thing is, Ashcroft to Weddle, it just feels yucky to me. I don't like Weddle. I think Ashcroft is going to have a bounce back game against us this week. He's playing at home. We've got a really riddled, injury riddled backline, if you excuse the pun, and he could push forward and kick some goals. So, and we know that when he's kicking goals, he can ton up. So I'm actually expecting a demolition on this week coming up in Brisbane's favour, and I can only imagine that in a smashing, that he will rise with the team and he will do really well. But Anderson, this might be your last week to get Anderson. So does he force the trade to get Anderson in?
I think you do Weddle and Anderson just because you're not bringing in a rookie that hasn't played 2 games already and isn't on the bubble. Makes a big difference. Grab Anderson. Oliver, I think, is going to be comparable in scoring. It is a lot less, and you can grab Oliver probably at a similar price in a couple of weeks versus Anderson, which is shooting up to 650k plus. So the money either way is a lot better.
Causa's looking at either track Oliver or Anderson this week, but also really want Anderson, but unsure, or do I go value so I can get a better premium next week?
Who's better than Anderson? That's the problem. Like, you don't have Oliver and you don't have Anderson. Like, Petrarca, I think, is going to be around the same price, but who's better than Anderson as a premium next week? Like, you're getting him a lot cheaper than what he's going to be. You can pick him up. You can play with him. Like, maybe Anderson's the way to go, probably.
Petrarca break even of 64. He can also go huge.
Yep. I don't disagree.
He hasn't scored. His lowest score is 97 this year. This is the different.
Well, Joe. He's been playing well.
This is a different Petrarca. This is a Petrarca that is showing us that he's increased his floor now to a point where he is almost really shaping up to be a very safe and viable option, and that he's not someone that you have to wait until after his buys to get in. And this is the sort of output you're going to get from him. Whereas a guy like Anderson, we don't know for sure if this sort of output is going to continue with the return of Tuke Miller, who will definitely return. Whereas what we've seen with Petrarca till now is what we're going to continue to get. There aren't any changes to come to his role or into the midfield mix that's going to disrupt what we've already seen thus far. And thus far, what we've seen is that he's raised his floor to just under 100, and his ceiling is still there by going on 167.
Is he due to get DPP soon, Joe? That's the real question.
Petrarca, I think I saw his name in one of these. 32% forward, so he needs 3 more %.
So maybe go Petrarca and assume that he might be getting pretty close to DPP status. You're on for a winner.
Yeah, if Petrarca can get forward status, that would be huge. Absolutely huge.
Especially with him having such a low break even. he could end up being around that 650K mark. Ends up being a must-have for people because he gets DPP, and you've already got him. So that might be a great pick too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And you're not paying up for him.
Yeah, every time. But sometimes it doesn't equate. And the problem is when players come in from the VFL team, they're generally given less time to prove their worth than rookies who started. Because it's like, well, we brought you in. Can you continue your form? A bad game or two where you kick it to the opposition or do whatever, you're back in the VFL again. So it's really tough to get back.
Yep. Blues fan, I feel for you, mate. Is it better to go Anderson this week than 2 up, 1 down next week for Mills, or go Mills this week and keep a 1 up, 1 down next week? The 1 up, I mean, it sort of depends on who's on the bubble next week. So we know Drury, if he plays again this week and is named again, we know Drury will be on the bubble. Is there anyone else who might be on the bubble next week worth getting in?
Not really. Not that I've seen. Might be a couple of random skill players, but no one with the value of him being that 102K price.
Cooper Sharman, 262K.
Maybe if like a Corey Wagner or a Constable or someone comes back, maybe. But
right. Yeah,
no one who's like,
Thomas Berry. Thomas Berry
potentially. Potentially.
If Thomas he has Berry. A nice big score again this week, and appears that you really need to get him in. Oh, he's got West Coast this week. Oh, as a forward, he could do really well this week.
So maybe people are looking to double downgrade, especially with a lot of players still dead on their fields. Like I know I've got Wagner, I've got Constable, and a couple of others. I think Davies probably made all his money he's going to make either. So,
and what about and what was his face? Johnson.
Yep. Well, he's coming back.
Is he back this week or next week?
No, 1 more week of being suspended.
1 more week. Okay, fair enough.
Got 2 weeks for the tackle. So, we could end up having to double downgrade next week just for the availability of rookies. Offload those last couple of players who are around that 200K mark that aren't making much more money, or dead rookies. Yep. Try and get the buy rounds fixed up and then aim to, offload your Weddells, offload your Mitchells, Sam Simpsons, all those kind of players to premiums come their MSD in a couple of weeks. We're going to be really tight for trades, but can make it happen. We do a few more 1 up, 1 downs than 3 to 1s. You're okay.
Just mentioned it for MSD players regarding Cal Brown. Cozzy is crap. Jika injured, so Hawks need to keep position forward in mid-season draft. Well, pretty good. Exactly. Can be someone
they've got players available. It's just that Sam Mitchell's shown that he loves to pick up these mature age players or guys that have been dominating in the AFL team. I don't know if it's because they've trained them, they know what they're like, but I think there's a few teams that are going to be looking for key positions. West Coast for 1, Rio for 1. I don't know if you guys need it at the Bombers, but it may be Hawthorn as well.
We've got the weed. We've got the Weedman now, so it's okay.
If Hawthorn come in and actually get like a decent key forward, being able to train him up at the same time as everyone else.
Lukey Donlan, why Joe's getting rid of Samson? Wait, getting off Samson run with a break. Wait, what? I'm not getting off him. He's right here. He's right here. What are you looking at, mate? I'm not trading this guy out. Definitely not. I love him. I want to name my first son Samson after this guy. What are you talking about? Trade him out, he says. I love him more than Setagoat now. He's my boy, Samson. So, no, I'm not. Definitely not trading out Samson Ryan. Luke, that's for sure. Mitch Owens has been the best mid-price player by far, averaging 96. And well, Global, this man up above me, really like the look of him in the preseason, and he kicks himself daily and punches himself before he goes to sleep every night. Why didn't I pick him? Because he has been terrific.
Don't get me started on Mitch Owens, bro. I wanted this kid so bad. We didn't get him. I'm not happy, Joe.
Look at him.
I'm not happy.
Look at him. He's so happy with his mustache. Yes, I come to kick ass.
He got a tan too.
Look at, he got a 10 as well.
Not happy.
Look at him, 2023.
Yeah.
Start with a 76, a 97, and a 76. Yes, me too, cheese.
Yeah. Because there's Sam Walsh, you might get McRae, you might get Petrarca, might get some of the ruckman. Like, yeah, might just finish my team with all these midfielders in the front. All these DPP guys like Rosie and Camilio into the midfield and grab all these really good forward line players. So.
And there's still Darcy Cameron as well.
Yep.
Gorn.
It could happen.
Gorn could get forward
spots left to fill. It might be 3 midfielders from the forward line going in there.
I know, and like it might not be enough. And the thing is, if we're spoiled for choice, it could be really good because it could mean that if you're really loaded up in one particular buy, and you might end up in a situation where you're losing too many players, you can be aggressive and trade these guys if it means being able to climb up the rankings during the buy. If the buys, we've said this a lot. The buys are a really critical, important part of the season where if you've got your planning right and you have avenues and options in order to maintain some really good scoring during those weeks, you can have a massive, massive jump up on the competition and find yourself climbing up thousands, even tens of thousands of ranks.
I navigated the buy rounds fantastic last year. Ended up having, I don't think I had any donuts at all. If it was 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s on the field, no donuts. Shot into the top 1K after being about 5 or 6K at the start of the buy rounds. Yeah, that was it. So, as Joe says, definitely. The beauty of the buy rounds this year as well is we get basically 4
extra
boosts.
One. Yeah.
So, if you haven't finished your team, that's okay. Just coast along, let the players mature as much as they can. Be careful of a Setter Field or someone like that where they're losing a lot of money, and just coast and be like, yep, I'm okay. I won't upgrade Baker this week. I'll wait till after his buy. I can flip him to a premium. And the beneficial thing as well is that you're generally not grabbing a premium that hasn't played. So still has their buy round to go. So, yeah. Round 13, round 14, a lot of people are going to be finishing their teams this
year. Yep. Mason, hey guys, how are you? Doing good. Thank you so much for asking. Do I keep Danger? Could be dangerous. Just brought him in, and Sicily this last week still scored 24.50. Can't really do upgrades without him. Look at that. That is amazing for you to have still scored so high with the
Must
injury.
not have many rookies left on field, or got really lucky with you, like a Bond or someone to a captain score this week.
Would you trade out Sicily? The thing is, no, you don't trade out Sicily. Of course not. So it comes down to Dangerfield. Is Dangerfield
you just cop the bad score? That's it.
Yeah, exactly. You cop Sicily's bad score. But in terms of Dangerfield, look, I think you can trade him out personally. I think
age is not. Joe, do you remember?
I don't remember his injury, but his age is not on his side though. That's the thing. I mean, Geelong, Paddy Dangerfield, hammy.
Well, you don't keep him. If he's out for 4 weeks, you don't keep him because 4 weeks turns into 5 because of his buy round. So imagine if you kept him. Okay, round 9 doesn't play, round 10 doesn't play, round 11 doesn't play, round 12 doesn't play, and then buy round 13. So he's effectively out for 5 weeks now. You don't hold players for 5 weeks.
No, absolutely not. So
it's unfortunate. It sucks, but you don't hold them for 5 weeks. I'm sorry.
If you can trade out Danger to get in Tuke Miller to get Noah Anderson, I'm not going to ask you to trade out one injured player to bring in another injured player. That's not what I meant. I promise, Mason.
Clip it. Quick, everyone, clip it. Joe said get rid of Dangerfield for Tuke Miller.
Shut up, mate. Yeah, if you can get in Noah Anderson this week, then you're either him or a Petrarca, then you're laughing, I think.
You know what would be perfect? Would be Nick Madden coming back from injury and actually playing in the seniors and doing okay. Like everyone that's held him, I think he's got 2 weeks left or 1 week left. Yeah. Imagine if he came back, was like, yeah, I'm fully fit. We need another tall player. Boy, oh boy, man, we'd be laughing.
Oh, mate, he's coming. He's coming quick. He's coming close. Mills or Goulden? Ah, wow. What do you reckon? Mills or Goulden? So Goulden, 490K. Mills, 523. Mills has Goulden has a break even of 3, whereas Mills.
Yeah, surely if you have to pick one, surely you get Goulden.
Yeah. Whereas Goulden
Mills doesn't even have a role. At least Goulden plays like 4. I just sent you a team on Facebook, Joe. Just pull it up. That's Duke's team. He was saying, come and check it out. Yeah. Apparently, he's ranked 477, so it's not too bad. Pretty good.
No, that's not what I meant. It's not what I meant.
So what can you do this week?
Stuart, Sinclair, Zeeble, Day. Sheasel's loading. I don't know.
Well, no, Jordan Dawson's a huge miss at the moment, but I don't know if you can actually afford him with your team.
Petrarca, Laird, Parrish, Green, Steele, Hopper, Ashcroft. Is it that way? No, it's that way. And then Marshall, Samson Ryan. Oh, a fellow of Samson Ryan at R2 owner. So good. I love it. I love it.
I think Max Gawn has to be the player you try and get in, Duke, if you can. Even if that means shuffling around the cash, shuffling around the money a little bit, and grabbing Gawn, because if he gets DPP at 512K, the guy's going to be fantastic for you. Covers Samson Ryan. Yes, Samson Ryan just move him to the forward line, right? It's not a bad not a bad pick. I think that's the play. I just don't know how you would facilitate it. How do I get 500K in his team? Maybe an Ashcroft.
Yeah, we'll have to involve
somebody
Ashcroft,
downgrade. That's the thing.
It might have to be Hopper.
Does he have any money left in the bank?
No.
Yeah. Gawn's a good pick for you at the moment. That's all I'm going to say. Maybe try and facilitate him if you can. It's a shame you don't have any. Can you go Cowan down?
No, Cowan will only release 102K.
So he needs to get some money. So
you need to go to the bank, get a loan. Tell them Joe will be the guarantor. If for any default on any payments, you can knock on the door and be like, Joe will help me out.
Duke, if you really want to be cheeky and you really want to be like trying to figure yourself out, I would go Cowan down to Drury versus with Constable swing, which should free up just over 100K. And then you could go Ashcroft to Gawn by moving one of your midfielders to the forward line. So moving one of your forward line players up to the midfield and then Ryan onto the forward line. Because you're still playing Ryan anyway. So you're getting Gawn instead of Ashcroft next week. That would be my play. If Gawn gets DPP, you want him in your team. The quicker you can do that, the better. And the guy's going to get forward DPP. So Gawn Marshall's not too bad. Oh, he says he can't do it by 2K. No, that sucks. Oh man. Oh,
Duke,
no.
that is tragic.
Yeah,
that is tragic.
You go early on Sam Mitchell. That's the thing. Then I don't think you can, but
no. I mean, how many rookies have you got on field? I mean, you got 1, 2, 3.
That's it. Yeah,
you only got 3 rookies, and that's the thing.
Ryan scoring hundreds every week, so
yeah, that's the thing. The issue is it's not even an issue per se, because I can understand that you want to keep upgrading. You're an upgrade season, but you're in a situation where you have been regularly upgrading, and you're at a point now where the rookies that you've got left have not fully matured because you've been continuously upgrading, and you've actually only got 3 rookies on field left, which is very impressive for this time of year. I've got 4 rookies still on field. Big J, how many do you have? 4 or do I have 5?
I have 3 plus Hopper.
You have 3, so I've got 4. So you're ahead of the curve in terms of the upgrade. So you can this week just simply downgrade.
Holding is a better move, because I hate to say get
there's no one on the bubble now.
Yeah, I hate to say, well, unless it's Weddle, it's not the same value. I hate to say get Drury in and then he misses out on a week, and then your top 500 position at the moment just gets suffered. So I don't want to be that person that does that to you.
Yeah, exactly. So I think you might be one of those situations where you got a hold, Duke. Very impressive. But yeah, Blues fan was saying Merritt next week looks nice. Yeah, Merritt's a star. Willing to lose last boost for him. Great fixture and plays round 15. Must in for me.
So. I don't think so.
You don't think Merritt is a must in?
I think there's players that you want to get, and you want to get them because they end up being over 600k. I think you want to use that last boost to grab a Petrarca, come around 12 to grab a few of these other players, come the other times. I don't know, man. Zach Merritt, I think still maybe he does well for you, but
he looks really good. No, he actually he passes the eye test.
Then why did he score so poorly last game?
Because he was tagged by O'Connor.
Okay.
Yeah, he copped the O'Connor tag and still scored a 91. So this year is actually a better year because another year
he actually got scaled down as well. I think he was a lot higher, and then he got scaled down pretty hard. Yeah, 106.
And he only had and because of the tag, he was actually taken out of the CBAs. So he only had 38% CBAs, 19 disposals for 91. This is actually a really promising scoreline for Merritt, who historically, if he copped the tag, especially like an O'Connor tag, he would end up scoring like a 70 on. But for him, off only 19 disposals, you know what I mean? And 38% CBAs to still score a 91. No, I'm aboard Merritt. I really rate him, and you're correct about the fixture. We've got the North Melbourne Kangaroos twice, and we've got the West Coast Eagles twice to come. So that's 8. those are 4 games where he could go really well in. I'm not saying he will. I said he could, Big J. He could. So yeah, no, I like Zerrett. Obviously, I take my bias. Putting my bias aside, he looks the goods. Blues fan. Jennifer, track was huge for you, Jen.
That too, Jennifer. I had track last week. You'd be laughing.
Yeah, track and Clarabelle Anderson now. Only reason to pay up for Anderson is because of his bite. Yeah, agreed. We've had a look at your team, Duke. Causa saying Sam Lawson for North from their vehicle.
It could happen. Is he the key forward or is he the midfielder, Corey? I know that he's on our books to have a look at, but I've heard rumours that Clarko is going to be pushing for a key forward. There's someone good that's available. So maybe like a 1-for-1 for a common if he's going to get LTI. Because we have to look past him. That's the thing. Combin's fantastic. I love the kid. But it's been like 4 years in the system. The guy's played 5 games. And I know he's been injured, but there's always something with him. In our forward line, we have one key forward and then Coleman Jones. We don't even know where he plays anymore. He's useless. So
he's a key forward. He's a key forward.
All right. Well done. Maybe we'll go for him.
Harry, how are you, Harry? Love the show. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for tuning in. Go early on Drury and bring in Sinclair for Ashcroft, or Van Ruin to Atkins and use him as a floating M9 to D7 Atkins. Loophole. Atkins is in the loophole, bro. Atkins is playing and he's taken Constable.
I think he's talking about M9 D7 swing. He means getting him to have a swing player. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of Atkins.
I don't want to bring in any loopholes at this point. We need money, man.
I think he's saying have him as like a DPP swing, not as a loophole.
Yeah, I don't know why it's called a loophole. I don't know. So, look, I don't mind Atkins as a pick personally. I think he's better than Weddle. Of course, only time will tell. But the big caveat with Atkins is that I think he is overly reliant on Lockie Weller being out of the side. And as soon as Lockie Weller comes back, I think that pushes Atkins out. And Atkins loses that juicy role at halfback where he's taking kick-ins and he's racking up his 20-odd disposals a game. So that's probably the big thing with Atkins. You got to keep a close eye on the Gold Coast Suns and their injury list. And I don't like going early on rookies ever. That's just the way I roll. I don't mind going 1 week late on a rookie. I just don't like going 1 week early. I think that's the worst thing.
How many trade and boosts you got left, Joe?
No boosts. And after trades this week, 15.
Yeah, same for me too. I think I'll finish my team. I'm planning to go 1 up, 1 down on everyone, finishing my team with about 7 trades left. So go in and grab like a DPP swing or some other shenanigans, and then just post with like 4 or 5. So yeah, should be fun. We just need the rookies to kind of develop. Luke's saying he's going to trade Darcy out for Sam Ryan for 2 rounds. So maybe it could work. I mean, he just missed out on his 100, so it kind of sucks.
He's not going to score 100 again, Luke.
You'd be laughing right now.
Luke, he's not going to score 100 again this year. That was the one and only time. I don't recommend that trade.
Yeah. Thoughts on Green, Phillips, and Wilmot to Goulden's Atkinson? Look, I don't mind it. You get Goulden in, Atkins if you like the pick, and then Weddle. I'm just not sure on Weddle's job security, to be honest. There's a lot of players coming into that Hawthorn backline. Yes, he played last week and did okay, but there's a lot of players in that Hawthorn backline. I don't know if it's a great.
I wouldn't boost for Atkins or Weddle.
No.
If it was possible for you to do a 1 up, 1 down to get Goulden in, then
He's only 500k. Yeah, it's not that expensive.
Yeah, it's only 500k, 490 something. So
490,
I wouldn't.
He's pretty cheap, like a Green plus someone else.
Yeah, I mean, surely you can 1 up, 1 down. I wouldn't use it. I wouldn't use a boost, to be honest. And yes, as Duke says, why don't you have Goulden already? Come on. Jonas, Tickle is awful in the ruck. Do you think Dante isn't?
I told people don't get Tickle in.
That's what I was saying as well. We both said it. Don't go Tickle. The only rookie worth having out of the options last week were Chincotta and Simpson. They were the 2. We didn't want Angwin. We didn't want Tickle. We've said it.
Joe?
Huh?
Chincotta and Simpson. That's who I brought in.
Me too. Yeah. Chincotta and Simpson. And we said it. It's a revolving door over there at Port Adelaide. And it was the worst week to get Tickle in because it was up against Essendon.
Well, because
he was up.
Score of 20 is going to be in his rotation for 3 weeks. So.
Yeah, he was up against Essendon, and Draper is proving himself to be one of the hardest ruckmen to score against. And then we brought in both, Phillips both he and Phillips. So the dual ruck tandem, and they love having Finlayson in the ruck already in and of itself. So yeah, Tickle was always going to be a really sketchy selection. And I did mention this when I was watching the preseason game. Dante Vicentini looked really good.
Yeah.
I thought he's guaranteed he's going to definitely be playing games this year for Port. And he's also been killing it in the Sandful. So I would not be surprised if Vicentini comes in for Tickle. How soon? Look, I'm not a shit coach like Ken Hinkley is, so I don't know how soon it's going to happen. It could happen fairly soon. Travis Bowen. Hi all. How are you, Trav? I'm tempted to go Rochelle and Ashcroft to Bont and Ratkins.
All right, 5 minutes, Joe, and then I have to head off.
Who is Ratkins?
These questions, mate.
Who is Ratkins? Is this a troll question? If I do that, need to fix 4 more spots in my team.
I think he's saying Rory Atkins, bro.
Ah.
Come on, Joe. You've got to get used to these kids' lingo, mate. Rory Atkins.
Ratkins. I love it, actually. I can't believe I didn't say that. If I do that, need to fix 4 more spots in my team with 16 trades left, also with 86k for my next trade. Well, the thing is, yeah.
You need Bont. It just sucks that you're paying 700k for it.
You are not. No way. You are not paying 725k for Bont.
Get someone else in instead, to be honest.
No, Travis. Travis, if you don't have Bont now, it's
Anderson
too late.
Will do it. Bont will drop 100 and then be able to do it a bit later.
Kings. Yeah, no, yeah, that's it. Bont is gone for you, Trav. It's not going to happen. Check out the 118th overall ranked team worth 13.6 mil. Will blow everyone out of the water. All right.
He's probably got Owens and Buckley and Stocker and all these people on their teams.
He's rank 118. Why would you specifically scroll down individually? This is clearly his team. And this is clearly his team that he Essays. Oh, I feel like I've heard of Essays. Chris.
Yeah.
He finished 10th. Boy, now that reminds me. Shout out to David at work. He finished 12th this week. And he would have won the money if he had Bont captain instead of English, and if he took Jimby's score on field instead of Baker. He would have won the money. Shout out to you, David. You're a superstar. I know you feel bad about it, but you've won my heart, and hopefully you've won the respect of everybody in this chat as well.
And who won the weekly, Joe, from George's Discord? Do you remember?
Buckley, Stocker.
Joe.
He's got Buckley, bro, and Stocker.
Joe.
Wow, very nice.
Joe. Who won the weekly from George's Discord?
I don't know. Who did?
Remember? Or was it not?
Not me.
The Pendlebury. Someone that
Bond is Bond.
From
Merritt.
The Pendlebury is one of the guys from George's Discord. So congratulations, mate, on the massive win. Hopefully you were a gold person, so you got the extra 2K. So you got the extra $1,000 there. That'd be fantastic.
Oh, Butters. He's got Butters in there. I respect that.
How many rookies does he have on field? That's the real question.
So
I think he's got a full forward line with
full forward line. Ashcroft, Chincotta.
Yep. So 2. Is it just 2 rookies? Wow. Okay, this guy's got 2 rookies, man.
Oh my lord, yeah. This team on your essays.
Good.
Flying. Hippo's getting merit this week. Boy, not against the Hippo. Not against it whatsoever. I like it. Thanks for the help, guys. If I want to upgrade, I think going early on Mitchell could be the play. He will only make another 50K at max. He is sub-prone, and he's only one bad game away from being dropped.
That might be the only thing.
You know your team more than we do. Sorry, boys. I met loopholing Atkins with an M8 or a D6. He has a good buy too.
As Big J said.
As Big J said. Angwin and Dead rookie for us, unfortunate ones.
Yeah, I think so, Luke. It's unfortunate. He was the one with the shakiest job security, with the shakiest scoring kind of being a winger in that team. And yeah, unfortunately, the worst thing happened. When you're not reliant on goals, when you're not reliant on being the ball, kind of other avenues of scoring, I think we just struggled.
You had to make a listen, bro. We were talking. We were saying, like this guy.
What?
Unfortunately, is not interested. Wait, why am I looking at Atkins for?
Well, that's what I'm saying, Joe. Why are you looking at Atkins, mate?
I'm wondering why the fish is Atkins on my screen. I want an Angwin. Yeah, 62, 42, 33. Nothing amazing. And then when you looked at his role on DFS Australia, it was also something very, very tragic as well. So you never like picking wingers, especially when they're playing for GWS. He's not the primary winger. He's not going to be the one entrusted with the responsibility. That's not even a wing. That's not even a wing. That's the freaking forward pocket.
One minute and I have to head off. Oh.
That is forward pocket.
Yeah. I think you can avoid going Atkins if you can get Goulden with 1 up, 1 down, and go like a Drury or go a Weddle or someone else to get Goulden in. I think that might be the way to go.
Yeah.
He's not a must-have. Yes, he's going to be okay. He's not a must-have, so I don't know if he's going to hurt you as much as what we're thinking, but I think you can take the gamble and get the primo and not have to spend a boost to be able to get Goulden in, especially at 490K. Like, come on. It's not like Chincotta, right? Like you've got 2 Chincottas and you still want to upgrade. Like, yeah, I think you'll be fine.
Exactly. Cool. So didn't anyone get injured on Saturday? Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
he's dead. He's dead. He's dead in more ways than one, Harry. But yeah, that I think is it for us. Thank you so much, guys, for coming in and watching us on our usual Monday night live streams. Apologies if we ended up tricking anybody into thinking that the video that was uploaded just before was a live one. My team review, it wasn't a live one. It was a pre-recording. It was recorded yesterday. But thank you guys so much for watching it. It was really really good, and I love the feedback. I love the support. Yes. Stuff you, Willie. We're all here.
I'll have my team review out tomorrow afternoon. I have my team review out as well. So stay tuned for that. We'll hopefully have some more information and some more videos out this week. Coming back into doing, our regular stuff outside of the Monday and Thursdays. If we don't see you then, catch us at 5:30. We might have a stinky guest. I'll see if we can organize someone. Catch you next time, guys.
See you guys. Thank you for coming. Enjoy. Bye. See you.